You threw the rock, now you hide your hand. Now, guys, how many times have you seen this play out in some way or another, where a person will sit up there, play a certain game behind the scenes, or even in your face in some cases, and still have that same facial expression, that same smile, acting as though they are innocent when they are guilty, guilty, guilty? What is it? Let's get into it. First of all, welcome back. This is Indigo Moon. Hope that you're having a wonderful day, and thank you so much for joining us. So, as it stands, let's say growing up, we always had a representative, okay? And that person would run out and say, hey, we playing tag, or hey, we playing freeze tag, or hey, we playing ring Olivia, or we're playing Skelsies. There was always a representative who yelled out what we were playing. And someone else always said, God no higher, put their hand up, God no higher, meaning you are the top person. You're the only person who could take that first place because you call God no higher. Because God is the highest, right? And there's nobody higher than God. So the thing is that even as children we believed in God. Even as children we have faith. And sometimes it takes children to actually redirect adults and help them to see that God is still here. That God is still breathing within all of us. That God is directing us to the right place on the map. And when you have this kind of faith, it's really, really dispiriting when you can actually look at how people can get their minds together and sit in a circle or in any form of a meeting to fight against one individual, especially when they're doing it for money, for greed. I tell you, it's a spiritual war going on out here. And while the spiritual war is going on, how many people are finding themselves innocent, or they find themselves with blood on their hands? See, the people who have the blood on their hands are the people who made those sacrifices. And they made it with terrible intentions. My father was the first person who gave me tarot cards. He gave me the tarot cards because he wanted to not have to pay the guy who he was paying to read these cards and give him direction. And I wasn't for it. I didn't want the cards at the time. Of course there are other people who took the cards, no problem. I'm sure that they've been able to benefit in some way or another. But you have to look at the intentions. What are the person's intentions, okay? Since I was little, I have my Aunt Shirley Jenkins, who's been, signing over paperwork, and even the most recent thing of even signing paperwork that states that I am, I guess, sick and unable to work. Now, the same people who are behind the scenes, coming up with these plans, stating that, they want to take these benefits, receive money in honor of me not working, when I'm able to work and do whatever it is I please. At the same time, while they're doing that, you put a black mark against my name so that people will feel as though I'm unfit to work, that I'm a horrible person. People will do all sorts of scandalous things. But in the end, is anyone going to want to take on are they going to want to take on the responsibility of dealing with what happens afterwards? You see, you can go ahead and you can have all these scams, say horrible things about the person, all these things. But when we get to court, are you going to be happy? Because see, for some reason, I believe that there's something going on behind my back in the courtroom. Nobody wants to call me or email me and tell me that court is in session and that I should be coming. But somehow I believe there's court going on behind my back. And there's other people, like my father, signing my name for things, These people can continue to do these very things, but your handwriting is not like my handwriting, and you can slander my name and tell people all sorts of things, but my actions speak louder than my words. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I do not do anything against anyone else that I would not want done against me. Now, here we are talking. No matter how much I try my hardest to not even say anything on the topic, it seems to still come up to the same surface because there's a lot of things going on. You know, if a person says this person is a thief, you need to be able to find the proof of that person being that thief. They say this person is okay, like the woman who decided she was going to go in and collaborate with my family and say that I was a woman of the night. Okay, we all know that that's one of those women who sell their souls, and you know, I'm not speaking against anyone but the individuals at hand who seem to have a problem with me living my life. I separated my life again. God directed me because there was too much going on and people were doing things right in my face, smiling in my face. You know, smiling faces tell lies. They don't tell the truth. You know, and you have the people smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Backstabbers. So you have all this stuff going on behind your back. And people are smiling and they're coming up with all these different plans. But you see, when you come up with all these different plans, you can't exactly consider yourself as a winner of the plan when God didn't authorize it. I'm going to say it again. The devil has to ask permission from God in order to grant your wish. Okay? So while you're sitting up here playing these games, thinking that you're going to church, and that's another thing. I remember I was trying to sing a solo at this church once. I couldn't hit the notes. I couldn't do anything. And when I looked around the church, the way that the eyes were leaning on me, the energy that was going out there was defeating already. And I was saying, why am I putting my best foot forward to do something? And the congregation, this is not where I'm supposed to be. There's been a few churches that I've gone to where I've had dreams about these churches and God was leading me out of the environment of the church. And it was that environment because the people in that church were not practicing the right things. Now, not every church is bad, but these particular churches that I was actually thinking that God was there, they had a lot more going on behind the scenes. You see, God is going to reveal the truth because the truth is the thing that's going to set us free at the end of the day. So you could have somebody from my past, a male, who decided he wanted to take my flash drive, stole my flash drive. He said, I got it from the Teachers Convention in Jersey back in the day. And it was 2017 when my flash drive got missing. And I could not find it. Now on that flash drive, I had my transcripts, I had my driver's license, a copy of my driver's license. I had all these things because I was applying to school again. And I needed that information on the flash drive so it would be an easy transition so that I could put all that stuff on the computer, apply, and everything would go nice and smoothly. But somehow my flash drive got missing. And I already knew who the sticky fingers came from because no one else in my life has ever stolen from me like that. You know, you have to look at a person, and you also, when you're involved with a person, you also have to observe their actions. Now, I know that he was in collusion with my family members, my father and my Aunt Shirley, of course. But the disappointment of it all was that you expect family members and your friends to be the closest to you. But of course, there is a saying that says, keep them the closest to you so that you can see and observe what it is that they're actually doing. So I'm going to say, right here and now, I want to thank all of you for showing me and teaching me so much, because I would not know better had I not experienced it. And you know that all these different experiences make a person stronger. So even the people who were speaking over me while I was asleep, the mirror magic, I mean, all of it, just throw it all in a paper bag and burn it. Because with all the different experiences and with all the different things that you have collaborated in private or otherwise in your little group meetings, I know you're meeting on Saturday, every Saturday, and coming up with these chants and carrying them. If you think that nobody knows what's going on, God knows what's going on. You know, and regardless of what it is that you choose to say or do, just know that I gave you guys a heads up before. on how this was going to go. But nobody wanted to listen, so now here it comes. Okay, you know that song, "Here Comes the Boom, Here Comes the Boom." Yeah, you know, I'm doing a lot of singing and acting in this one, right? Because it's really funny how your actions are proving who you really are. You know, it's best that you go ahead and you ask God for forgiveness now and you stop what it is that you're doing, because it's not going to turn out good. It's not going to turn out well, because first of all, whenever it is that you decide that you want to work in the darkness against anyone who is here to do good, okay? I'm trying to be, you know, as humbling as possible while I'm saying all this, because I know that, of course, sometimes people take it out of context and they think, oh, she thinks she's God. No, I know I'm not God. But I know He's my Father, and I know that He is the person who's directing me. All right? If I wanted to be a woman of leisure, woman of the night, I could have done that a long time ago. But I don't need to be that. Okay? First of all, I respect and love my body too much for it. Okay? And although people have not shown me the same love and support that I've shown them in the past, that is fine too, because we're all learning here. And as I said before, you're just my mere teachers, teaching me and showing me how people can actually be. And that's fine too. But all the people who were involved behind the scenes with the records being mixed up, a brother who people know good and well that is my brother. You sat up here and you play games with that one too. You know, and you know, people switching records, social work, or only a social worker could have done this. And behind the scenes, we already know that that's a good Regina card. You know, if my father and his sister, who is not basically on record, colluded to mix up records, that's also against the law. Okay, and that's a trick card. Okay. So if you played the Regina card, and she's the one who's behind the records being mixed up in regards to more birth certificates being switched up and all of that, then she will definitely be a part of the problem as well. And then she will definitely go down as well. I don't know how it is that you guys allow people to manipulate you into making such choices. Don't you know that He's not God? And although He might have manipulated you, just as He manipulated the people when He went to Morocco into holding a certain gemstone that they said was not even able to come over here. Okay? You think that you're so slick. All these different things, different games, different get-rich scams that you come up with, you have to realize that at the end of the day, the truth will set us all free. And I'm also thanking the warriors, the people who have been here on my side the whole time, and the people who understand and know the truth now. Okay? Those people were not understanding originally, so of course they were on the wrong side. But now people are waking up. They're waking up because the truth shall set us all free. And the truth is definitely going to allow everyone to see who the culprits were behind the scenes. And no, you probably won't even get deported back when you finish, Missy. Okay, because they want to make sure that you're going to serve your purpose right here after all the dirt and slander that you've done. Okay, so this was not exactly what I wanted to say on this channel today. However, the truth must come out, because it's just ridiculous how all this stuff is going on behind the scenes. People smiling in my face. I'm still having people stalk me. Okay, this is ridiculous. I was here, a representative of God, trying to tell people or show people how to basically persevere, how to keep your head up and not fall by the wayside, not find yourself caught up in such corruption. But some of you want to participate, and you know what happens when you decide to play the game? You get played, like this one guy who said he wanted to keep calling the police and reporting me for things that he was doing. Okay, and he is actually the individual who really, he's having his own problems not being able to even understand where he stands in his own personal life, not knowing whether he wants to be with he's or she's. You know, this is the problem. Figure out what it is that you want to do with your own personal life and stop trying to manipulate other people's life. You know, all this manipulation. These people don't even feed their children. They got their children with not even clothed properly, while they sit up here and spend money for practitioners to give them what's going on with everybody else. It's time for you to get on your knees and pray, or to talk to God in some way. Communicate and get yourselves together. Because in all honesty, you're going to have to learn to love yourself. Because if you loved yourself, you would not be mixed up in all this extra corruption. You know, figure it out. You know, and ask God for direction. Because you need something. If you can sit up here and be following me and trying to find out what it is that I'm doing. Find out what it is that you're doing and get yourself together, okay? This is Indigo Moon. I'm sorry, guys, that it even took a turn like this.